two-shot launch steel tip action on the 4th generation Bandit board, adding the one-piece flight deck system to all steel tip barrels as well. I'll be throwing 23-gram weight everything, starting with the Celt Tornos, followed by Roman Empire Juno, and finally the Celt Balor dart. God, I love the steel tip version even more. It's longer and more torpedo-y than the soft tip. We've got a straight barrel now with evenly distributed weight. I'm going to use that King Crown milling as my grip reference. Shot calls that gnarly rear section vessel grip, I believe. It's unmatched by anything I've felt before, honestly. 83 scored. Next up, we've got the Celt Balor bomber dart. This is the hardest changeup for me because it's front weighted, so that means I have to hold in the max diameter. Yeah, good pick. Oh my gosh, guys. New darts, new Bandit dartboard, and new flight deck colors. Go ham.
Welcome back, everybody, to DPFL Darts Season 12 here. And boy, oh boy, my name is Nick DeShare, and I'm ready to bring you guys some fun darts on the live stream. Solo today, Steve McDowell has abandoned me, so you guys are stuck with just my not-so-sultry tones. I'm looking forward to this Division 1 matchup here of Donny Joe and Joshua Schuler here, and what should be a fun one. All things considered there, especially with Donny starting off with a 5 for us. We're in for something special tonight. It should be fun. Donny Joe, gentlemen, I have gotten a chance to know over these last couple of times I've been to Houston for the Bullshooter tournaments. Actually, I own a set of his old Monster darts with his autograph on it, and some of his L-style flights as well. So shout out to Donny Joe there. Big shout, by the way, speaking of Florida Commercial Care and Shot Darts for their continued support on the show. Chat, I'm going to need your help tonight. We're going to be talking. We're going to be chit-chatting. We can treat this as a live Q&A. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I am here for, besides obviously the great darts that are going to be taking place right in front of us here. I'm looking forward to seeing every bit of it.
59.
In Division 1, we saw a great match where Colton Dunn was playing some great darts last Tuesday. It was really good to see. Looking forward to seeing a similar kind of performance from one of these gentlemen today.
$60.
Taking a look at the group play here to see where these guys lay in their own groups. Right now, this is a Group C matchup that we are going to be looking at. And Donny Joe sitting in 4th in his group out of the 11-person group there. And then Joshua here sitting at number 2 in the group. So these guys are doing very well this season. 6 matches played for Donny Joe, 3 matches won, and plus 15 on the leg differential. Joshua, on the other hand, is 6 matches played, 4 matches won, so has 1 extra 1 under his belt, but only a 14 leg differential there. So it seems like Donny Joe, when he is winning significantly. And we're going to see how that plays out into tonight's matchup here as I forgot to turn my phone on silent. So sorry about that. You didn't hear it, probably, hopefully. Yeah, chat. Let us know who you're cheering for. Again, tonight's going to be a good show indeed.
60.
Joshua sitting at 128 here. I'm going to start 20s or 18s. Does start 18 treble, 20 for bull. Doesn't go. Sitting at 90s, going back 18s. He is. Try to click right off that barrel. Just clicked on the wrong side, so a little bit unfortunate there. And everyone knows 141. It's everyone's favorite 9-dart checkout path, but not going to be a 9-dart here.
45.
32 hit up for double top, but just on top of that
32.
wire. Donny Joe will get a chance to break throw at 96. Needs to find a trouble in this turn. Oh, I think that's just below the wire. 40 hits, 88 hits.
88.
So a little bit more than he bargained for, but it's going to leave 8 if he does return. Joshua to decide if that's going to be in the cards or not tonight. And pulled in.
that's what
Double pulled. So Donny Joe will get a shot at the 8.
18.
As that was a little bit of a muck about there and ends up actually leaving 18 scored. So 22. Not ideal.
Second dart.
And does get punished by Donny Joe.
$85.
Kristen saying ahoy. Well, welcome in.
41.
How's it going?
$22. 140. Goodness. 28. I'll match you. 28.
Welcome back in, everybody. Sorry about that quick error there. Looks like we're having some dirty air on the internet. I didn't like some of the links in the description, so now we should be back up and going. Welcome back in, everybody. My name is Nick Teixeira, bringing you this great Division I matchup. If you are just now joining in, well, welcome. We missed you. You didn't miss too much yet. We got one leg so far on the board. Donny Joe does go ahead and get that very first one on the break of throw. And now we're going to be right back into the action here. Looks like we were just having some issues with Facebook in particular. Anybody know Mark Zuckerberg personally, please give him a call and let him know to stop getting in USA Darts' way. We're just out here trying to bring the action to all your screens. We're seeing some early struggles if you're just now tuning into our Division I matchup here. These guys are off the margins. They were both averaging near that 70 range. I believe Donny Joe's at a 68, Joshua right around a 70, 71. And trying to get back to that spot in their averages. That's going to be the goal here.
$85.
Donnie sitting at 264, needs to hit around a ton, was going for the 54. Not going to happen here. And now that 6 starts clear for Joshua to break right back at 99. He had trouble with his finishing on the last go. We'll see. He needs to have a lot of trouble here to take Donnie to get him back in the leg. But there's the 10-6 wire shot up to the, over to the 16. And no, doesn't happen well inside on that last dart. So 235. Starting 19s here. Still needs to find a trouble. 45 there, 190 sitting spot. So double 8 is the requisite double and does go in on dart number 2 for Joshua.
All right.
So, Kristen, if you're still watching, just know this is the exact kind of live stream where if you do have any questions, I can't answer them openly. Normally, I always see you do the CSC, and sometimes I get on the mic, but sometimes those boys, they get commentating in a flow, and I feel bad getting in the middle of it. So, if there's anything on your mind there, now is the time to ask. And as well as everybody else tuning in, we're going to have just me tonight. No Steve McDowell, so feel free to chit-chat, ask your questions, do some Q&A. It could be about DPFL, USA Darts, or Darts in general. I am here to answer any questions or just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If you want to talk about the world match play, we can. I mean, I didn't watch most of today's sessions, unfortunately, just because work was getting the best of me. Normally I have it on my side monitor. Jason Wilbur in the chat saying, attaboy, Josh. Grand Rapids, Michigan has your back. All 5 of them passionately cheering for you, Josh.
35.
He's starting to find that triple 20 that's been avoiding him so far. Users the neighbor in the last, but a 135 is the time to hit it. Trying to get himself settled. Again, these guys well below their season average at the start here, coming in a little bit cold, but the live stream has that effect on people. Seasoned veterans or not, you just know when you're in for a long format match and there's eyes on it, doesn't matter who, it changes your mentality just a little bit subconsciously or consciously. Kristen, if you have a ton of questions, I have a ton of answers. I got you. Anybody watching on Facebook, make sure to tag Steve McDowell and say, where are you at? So that way he's really confused at his Facebook notifications. That would also make me very happy, everybody.
$73.
160 has a chance. First dart's good. I can't tell where that second dart is.
100.
Yeah, just the 100. So 131 gets an opportunity now. Playing for the bull. No, goes up. Good cover dart on the last for Donny to put pressure on the 60. 91 hit leaves 40. But 2 darts a double top. Over to the 10.
30.
Does get on a third dart. Joshua there is in a comfortable position with that 2-1 start, which again, Donny just starting leg number 1 with that break throw can set some interesting precedents in a matchup. Instead, Joshua there goes ahead and rebounds nicely. Donny's still having quite the struggle. You can see Joshua's average rising. Donny has yet to get to his season average, which again, right now, Joshua averaging a 71 for the season. Donny is 68. So you expect both of these guys to have 10, if not 20 points of improvement in their average.
64.
Brian Herbert of Herbert Management tuning in. Look at that.
60.
It's my favorite HMG management based group. There's at least one of them. Kobe Too Young Christmas in the chat saying, hey, Nick, what's going on, Too Young? Great to see you back here. How old does Kobe have to turn before the phrase too young isn't applicable anymore and we have to change his nickname? This is coming from someone who had the dart nickname The Boy for years.
40. $125.
Kristen asking about the bullshooter level tournament, saying, if I place top 3 in levels 3 or 4, will I become a pro for Friday singles? The answer is we don't know, because after we want to see how Florida goes. We're going to look at the data of the stats and then decide how we're going to approach the pro list, because again, we are rebuilding it and launching that new pro list towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, and retroactively adding in people from other stops. So the answer is I don't know. I know more likely level 1 and 2 will be included in some way. But I can't speak for levels 3 and 4. We're going to look at the average spread and then also decide, because we're going to do some new stuff with the system. But the pro list is going to be getting reworked. Brian Herbert saying, Nick, will you be at DPFL Live? Get me out of retirement and I'll jump on the mic with you. I'm still waiting for the invite. Well, first off, Will Stewart's my boss. Okay. I don't get no say around here. You might think, oh, Nick, you're live right now. Will has no control over you. Actually, he texted me 3 times already because I messed up the Facebook live stream. Besides the point. 2, yeah, absolutely, I'll be out there. It's DPFL live events, the best event in steel tip darts. You know I'm going to make an appearance. And 3, yeah, you should still come by and get on the mic. I know Will and I would love to chat with you for one of the matches. I don't see any reason why not to have your sultry tones. Kobe saying Young Guns is next.
51.
Young Guns, isn't that Jax Bartlett's last name? Isn't there another youth talent that has that name already? You got it. Or is it Liam Musser? No, Liam Musser's the kid and Jax Bartlett's Young Gun. Yeah, Kobe, we got to work on this, man. Oh, you mean for these live streams? Yeah, absolutely. We can get you in on one of these. I'm sure there's no issues there. Especially, I didn't know until like a couple of minutes ago that Steve wasn't going to be able to make it tonight. So, yeah, with that going on, absolutely. If there's an opening, why not? Get you back in here. Crazy stuff happens when you're on the mic, I feel like. So that's a good thing to have. Jason saying, I'm looking forward to Brian Herbert commentary. Man, oh man. See, this is what, Brian, you get to go to retirement. I set the bar low for everybody. And then when you come back on the mic, everyone's excited about the improved product.
14.
Donny having some serious troubles on the out phase here. Joshua needs to correct and try to punish that. He might punish it right now.
18 remaining.
Oh, that was a well pulled double 18. You can see that was closer to the trip. But Donny now needs to take this.
Second dart.
Does get it on the second dart. So now it's 2-2 in the matchup.
Looking at
Right, everyone says just one cameo, just one appearance, and then all of a sudden they're getting asked to do things left to right and center. That happened to me. I'm sure it'll happen to you. You're going to have to manage yourself and your own management company for how often you'll get booked for commentary gigs. I assure you.
42.
And Kobe says, it'll be whatever sticks when the time comes. That's fair. Just ask Robbie Whizkid out of Wisconsin, as he is now hitting near 30 years old. It still has Whizkid as the name. Granted, an homage to his father, but still, those nicknames, they stick for a long time, so it's hard to change it up. I have no idea what my nickname would be if I ever got back into being a full-time player, which, let's be honest, with how busy I am working all these events, is going to be no time soon. I'll be on the road for 3 weeks here. Coming up July 28th to August 18th, I'll be at the ESPN Invitational with Bullshooter, and then the Florida Regional for them.
81. I'll
be at the ADO USA Darts Classic, and then I'll be at the DPFL Live event, all 3 in Central Florida, before flying back here to my home in Rockford, Illinois.
$100. 96.
Good job defending the throw there for Josh. Donny trying to get in close pursuit. 140 would have left the 152 for a check. Not in position to break so far.
$140.
And that's a massive shot there, as it does get probably 2 darts at a double. Chris asking, what's the format for Thursday night's blind draw at the Florida Regional? That just got announced today. $500 added, 100% payback. That format question is a great one. It'll probably be very similar to like a singles format where it's like a combination of cricket and 01, best of 5 winners, best of 3 losers. But to be completely honest, because we just decided to do this, we're going to see how many players sign up and adjust the format based on the field. But more likely a combination of 01 and cricket, more likely best of 5, best of 3. And Brian asking, when did you move to Illinois? Well, I did get a full-time job working at Bullshooter Arachnid, and I started March 17th. They gave me 3 months to move, and so I moved out here June this last month. And then you can see Josh go ahead and get the leg there, holds his throw. But I've been out here working at the Arachnid home office, making some content, been doing some cool stuff working with them. Yeah, it's been my new home. Not too bad. Not too bad. You know, you picked a good decision of when you move across the country, and everyone at the place you moved to says, why'd you move here when you live there? But let me tell you, Florida's hot and expensive, just like Donny Joe's. Nice 129 in.
129.
Thought it was going to be a little bit more. I set you up for it, Donny, but we'll take a 129. Josh needs to go for a cover on this last start. I don't like the stay. You found high on the 20 and then you pulled and had an awkward angle on the 5. You get a lot more value for your dart if you go to a different segment and readjust.
100.
A lot closer to Missouri, that's for sure. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Maybe I'll go finally check out the Ozarks.
100.
That's over there, right? I don't know where things are canonically. I GPS to the office. I've been working out of the office for a month now, and it's 8 minutes away, and I still GPS every single day.
140.
Donnie does leave the champagne shot here, and will more than likely have 6. Definitely will have 6.
121.
121 does help Josh quite a lot, but here, let's see if he can pop the cork. No pressure to do so, but man, oh man, is it cool and good for the confidence. There's the 50. Is he going to stay? He did stay. Would have left double 16. Alternative dart on number 2 is trip 14 for double top. I'm a big fan for staying on that bull. I want to go to Blueberry Hill. So, what are the dates for Blueberry Hill this year? It's actually on like a very high my bucket list of tournaments I've never been to. That I've always wanted to go to. Hopefully, if there's no bullshooter stops and no other USA Darts gigs I'm working during that time, I would be happy to go check it out. Donnie does take it 3-3 in this matchup. We're neck and neck, and you can see these averages raised. They've already raised them about 10 points since leg number 2, 10 points apiece. Again, Donnie's been living at about 68 and Joshua about a 71 for the season. So you expect that continual improvement here as they really start to get into the rhythm. I love that about long format and here at DPFL, right? You get plenty of time to get settled in. So yes, you can still have a bad day, but what you can't make an excuse for is saying you didn't have enough time to get settled in the match. If you didn't get settled in the match after, 11, 20 legs, whatever in that range it is, at that point it was on you. I've as someone that played last season Division 1 and made it to the round robin phase, I can tell you there was matches where I truly never got settled in, but it was purely self-inflicted wounds. And saying the 5th through the 7th, I think there might be an unannounced event that I'm going to be working at that same time. If it for some reason isn't on that weekend though, I will be going to Blueberry Hill for sure. Thanks for the reminder.
$58.
I can tell you there's a little bit of culture shock from last week to this week with Colton Dunn and his rapid pace of play that we saw. They were moving and grooving, throwing darts faster than I could even say words out loud. And I talk a lot and very fast. I believe that was Colton Dunn and Dan Kipling. That was right. That was the matchup. And they were both playing at a pretty quick pace. This one, a little bit more of a methodical, traditional pace for these gentlemen.
$80. $26. $140.
Good 140 there. Does go ahead and get all the way down to 16. Donny not contesting the leg. And that's kind of what we're seeing is it feels like none of these legs have really been two-way races to the bottom. That's kind of the hard part of the situation, right? Is Donny's nowhere near contesting, so Josh has no pressure on the 16. Vice versa, some of the legs that Donny's won, Josh has been well behind.
8.
And right there with 8 score, Donny with no position to pressure needs to try to still take this out in 6. So you're trying to hit 100 to leave 130. Looks possible.
100.
Scott saying, do they give you a free cat when you move into an apartment in Ohio?
Yeah.
Never been there to find out. I never moved to an apartment in Ohio, so I really couldn't tell you that either, huh? Was born in Ohio. Did live there till I was 8 years old. Still go and visit my grandma and grandpa out there. And we go to PF Chang's. It's a great time. I would say you guys should join, but they're my grandma and grandpa. Get your own.
$60. $45.
Oh, Scott, I'll ask around. I'll ask all my fellow Ohioans and Buckeyes out there and say, hey, is there a deal about some free kitty?
83.
Nope, that's not the way you should say that. Is there free cats in Ohio? Jason saying they give you antidepressants when you move to Ohio. And that's why I say to everybody that's ever asked me if I would ever move back to where my family is up there, I love them. I'll visit them. I don't need to live in Ohio no more. Ohio's great to visit. There's some really cool things. Hocking Hills, gorgeous state park. You know, Lake Erie when it's frozen over, a beautiful place to see. German Village, amazing food. That being said, everything else about Ohio still exists. So there's a lot of reasons to not stay.
81.
Nathan asking a great question in the Facebook chat here. I just got a steel tip board. What is the requirements to play in a league like this? The board I got is pretty low quality and I got a set of conversion tips. What kind of camera and app or size to use for it? Well, first off, make sure to go to dpfldarts.com. I'll put that link here in the chat for you, so that way you'll be able to go check out our website. But you can do this with just your smart devices you already have at the home. I just played last season. I had an iPad that was pointed at my dartboard, and then I had another iPad that I used for actual scorekeeping, although you could even just use your smartphone if you really want to. It's Donny Joe. Hold on a second. Almost takes out a 160. So, I mean, your board quality as long and your dart conversion points, I mean, none of that really factors as long as it's well lit, regulation, height, and distance. And we do everything over Discord. So you hop on Discord call and turn on your camera there. That's how you talk to your opponents. And then all the scoring through Dart Connect. It's incredibly easy to get into. It sounds scary and complicated at first, but I promise you, I thought the same thing until I tried it and realized it is the easiest and debatably the best way to play in a steel tip dart league in 2025. So DPFLdarts.com. There's your ad read, Scott Hanish. That's how you say something. Definitely not how you ask about cat policies in Ohio.
37.
Do we split or do we go? I would split considering the opponent's not on a finish. He went right for it, went low on the wire. Does sneak into the single one.
2 left.
Nathan, I promise you, if you give it a chance there, if you go to the website, there's some tutorial videos. I'm sure one of our admins here, like Scott Hanish or Alan Palmer, would be also happy to answer any questions. It's really, really easy.
There you go.
And there does get out of the madhouse. Donny Joe does 4-4 in this matchup. Josh was still in control technically because he has the throw and the advantage in this situation, but that's relative in a long format. You still got a long way to go with 7 legs to the finish line.
41.
I'll take the compliment, Scott. Thank you. There you go, Nathan. Looks like there's another link in there for you.
41.
Make sure that's copied over to that USA Darts chat so that way you'll be able to see it over there. But that goes right into the how-to section. But I promise you, my dad, who just turned 60 years old, and he went to college in Ohio, so that says a lot about him, was able to still get involved and plays in this league actively. Not in Division 1, but we don't have to talk about that part. I was actually talking, funnily enough, for doing promotional reads for DPFL. I was talking to Josh and Donny, and before this match got going, we were kind of vamping, catching up a little bit. And one of the things we talked about, Donny was asking about the live event. He said he was still debating about going, but he wanted to know how it ran. I was like, last year, actually, everything ran early. We'll see this year with the added events, but I have full faith that they're going to keep up that record of running events very timely. And I told him, I was like, honestly, I don't think there's another in-person steel tip event that pays as much as they do to people under a 65 average. I mean, it is truly incredible. I mean, you can make, I think it's 60,000 hopefully I'm correct there. At least 60 of the $125,000 of payouts is going to 65 and under events. The opportunities like that just simply don't exist in steel tip for the non-elite level. It's really cool to see, not to mention the big money, big ticket prizes on the elite side, as well as the spectatorship of seeing the exhibition. I am so hyped, especially after watching RVB just play in the world match play, to see him and Wadamina, who also played in the world match play. Wadamina getting the win in his match, RVB losing to Michael Van Gerwen, taking on Alex Spellman and Stowe Bunce. I can tell you that will be a must-watch event.
40.
I assume Scott on the DPFL Darts account, or maybe is Alan or someone else. Someone on the DPFL Darts account says, if it doesn't run smooth, I'll personally escort Steve out. He's responsible for board use and timing. Listen, all I'm saying is that we can't change owners every live event, guys. Get it together.
41.
41. They both clean up the 1-4-1. Neither one electing to take it. Donny Joe gets a chance to break throw, and we'll get 2 darts at double top. Well, high needs to adjust. I like the pause on that last throw. You got to collect yourself before throwing when you miss the margins like that. Unfortunately, it just doesn't go his way. Tougher shot incoming. I would stay on the trip instead of the double-double because of the position of that dart, but he does go double-double and only hits 40. Doesn't even leave the 1 dart finish. Will that come into play? It might. It does. Joshua now gets another opportunity, but he doesn't have a clear shot at double. Needs to set up first. As Tyler Nelson's tuning in saying, hey, this is my group. Welcome in, Tyler. That is the Tyler Nelson. I say that because 6 matches played, 6 matches won. Donny gets another redemption turn here. Still find that same spot in between the 20 and the 1.
30.
Now to the double 7. No one likes double 7. 3 for double 2. I won't be able to tell if the double 2 goes in, but it looks like it is. Perfectly positioned the point of the dart to being frame. I appreciate that, Josh.
Thanks.
Very considerate. Donny say a little laugh and says, nice. Definitely trying to be genuine towards his opponent. Donny Joe's a very nice guy, but that's a lot of frustration at himself, I imagine he's feeling in this moment.
Eight. 9.
Tyler doing a little scouting, by the way, in the comments, because I don't believe he's played either one of these gentlemen. Tyler Nelson, that's hanging out with us in the comments, is in the same group. Had a win against Evans, Steinhofer, Weston, Carter, Thomas, and Bailey so far. Has not dropped a match yet, and averaging a very dirty 79.35 on the season. That's some. We're getting towards premier level stuff there, Tyler. Love it. Donny Joe did get a win over Thomas there. Lost to Weston, win over Carter, win over Bailey, and they lost to Bunch Jr.
99.
Joshua Schuler here sitting at 11th in the Division 1 averages collectively. A loss to Steinhofer, a win over Thomas, a loss to Weston, and a win over Carter, Bailey, and Bunch Jr.
140. Ooh. 41.
Donny needs to be careful. This is a position for Josh to get a 2-leg advantage.
60.
You can see not defending his throw. When we say something like defending the throw, what that really means is that right now Josh has every ability to be the first one at a finish. It won't happen, but it puts a lot more pressure because Donny can't just hit a plain 100. He'll have to get a little creative in his setup shot here. 95 would leave 170. That's why he went the 19s. Love the math here. That's exactly what he did. So Donny Joe does still confirm that he will be the first one to finish. Joshua, though, can absolutely, with the way this match is going, pressure that by getting down to a ton to finish right around that 110, 120 range.
38.
It's important to defend your throw by staying comfortable, not putting yourself in positions where you have to hit big shots, but rather focusing on the consistency of your scoring, making sure, especially if you have those extra 3 darts, it's more about staying true than staying flashy. Break throws require some flashiness sometimes, especially if your opponent's on a 12, you have to throw a 9, right? I mean, it's a lot more work to break. So on whatever it takes for you to take that extra breath, take that extra moment to make sure that you throw a little bit more consistent on your own throw. It is so important for the longevity of a match like this. 86 is the shot, 54 for 32. Single 18 is going to stay for the bull. Pulls out to the 14. 52 scored, or 50 scored, excuse me. 127 will get a dart at the bull and does go.
Third dart. Good shot.
Massive break there. And again, we talk about it, right? It's about consistency on your own throw, and it's about finding the big momentum, big swing shots against the darts. And that's exactly what Joshua did there with that ton plus check after already challenging the throw early on. Is now 2 legs ahead, so putting himself in a good position. No death sentence by any mean with a length like this. Still 5 legs away from the win, Joshua is.
Uh, 42.
Fortunate pull to the right over there for the single one. Donny's first dart seems like it's one of those darts that either makes you stay in the trip 5 for all 3 of them or makes it easier to guide into that 20, but a little bit of an over adjustment in that moment. You can see Joshua not afraid to move around the board a little bit more between the 20 and the 19. He seems to be going a lot of up and down. Again, neither of these guys have gotten truly comfortable in this matchup. Both about 10 points below where they would want to be.
99.
But sometimes you get into these scrappy matchups, man, where it's truly you're down in the trenches, you're going back and forth.
95.
It's all about trying to get yourself settled in and trying to really get that comfortability, that moment where you're thinking, I got this, this is fine. For me, the moments I play the best is I have to make up some type of narrative in my head
85.
about why my opponent, why I'm mad at them, why I need to beat them, right? That's something I have to get myself fired up about. Even though I consider myself very nice and I'm very friendly, and there's no one in the dart community that I really have any serious beef with, and I truly mean that, especially as a player. And like people joke about it, but I always tell myself, like, when I'm playing somebody, especially if I don't know them, like, oh yeah, I bet that person likes to kick puppies or something, right? I tell myself something so ludicrous, so extreme, to try to fire myself up to have that extra motivation against them on the darts. Not gonna happen for Josh. First dart hope led to a little bit of
60.
disappointment. 101 and gets an opportunity for Donny to break back. Good use of the bull. 86 left.
$51. 61. My bad. Sorry.
Single 7. Doesn't go. Tried to save the shot there. I don't think that was the right.
First start.
Yeah, I think single 7, assuming that was a single 7, and then single 14, that would have left 52, not the bull. Doesn't matter. Donny Joe got the leg. Jason saying, someone get these boys some whiskey. And someone pour them a double shot of whiskey, whatever that song says, right? Yeah. But again, to go back to that earlier, very long, drawn out story I was saying, you got to find reasons to motivate yourself, and honestly focus more on an individual factor than right now. Again, if these guys have been playing this well the whole season, and struggling this deep into the match, I would have to imagine it's either the live stream, or just the live stream can be one factor. The other one is these guys could be the kinds of players that need someone to give them a push and they respond back, right? I don't think that's the case. I think that they just haven't gotten truly settled. They have to find something else to kind of focus your mindset on, and really just kind of get into the autopilot of darts, because it seems more like the brain's getting in the way of the arm.
62. 60.
Good correction on the second dart there. And you can see
100.
Josh climbing on up for the 100. But a little bit of pressure on Donny, looking for 120 or more. 125 does not leave a finish.
44.
Just 44 on the turn. Josh has now taken control of the throw.
100.
You can see that sigh of frustration as it's back-to-back 100s for Josh. As Porky, Steve Hilger joining the chat. I know it's normally Steve Hilger, a.k.a. Porky, but this point should be Porky, a.k.a. Steve Hilger. I just want to readjust your nickname there real quick, Porks.
$60.
Does stay to leave 91. 185 needs to get brought down by Donnie Joe. First start's good. Can he follow that in the same segment? Oh, that's a gnarly deflection. That was nowhere near the 16 on the line. You can tell it just kissed off the dart in a funny way. Hear that breath from Josh. He took a breath there. Oh, rather unfortunate. Went the new school route, starting at the bull.
Oh, let's see here. 17. 44.
116 has a chance. You got to stay true on that 20. Doesn't. Pulls over. 113. Now you're in setup range. 93 down to the 57 to leave 36. Does tee up at the very least. Josh should be going for that 15 over to the double 16. Seven double top is eligible.
Second dart.
And seven double top it is.
Good shot. Thank you.
Were you saying that's not the wouldn't be the worst you've called me? You act like I call you saying the meanest things. I only say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
$95. $60. 140.
Good 140. You can see Josh starting to get into his groove. His average starting to creep up. It's been hanging around that 60 line for a while now.
96. Ooh. 26.
Worky saying he's getting back in the mix here for DPFL darts. Would love to see it.
40. Ah, 32.
32 on the score. 305 for Donnie. Not normally a shot you would start on the 20 for 305. Just because, again, 140 doesn't leaves you at 165. But I think at this point, Donnie's less worried about the long range setups and more worried about just getting that comfortability, finding that spot in his throw. Ram is going to get Ram Gavar Jr. getting into the premiere as well. Going to be the most fierce premiere yet.
80.
You need to get like the real hot talent right now as well. You need to get like Adam Savada in the mix. I mean, 4 straight CDC events and then losing in the final of the 5th. What an incredible run he's been on. I mean, I've been aware for quite a few years now the talent that he has, but he's making it very apparent as of late. If you didn't know, now you know, players. 128 here for Josh. Over to the 20. Not going to go. Back to the 18. Does get set up.
92.
92 on the shot. 170 for Donny Joe. Was set up as an outside opportunity. Boy, this would get you going if it goes. Oh, needs to work that in. Doesn't. That's all finding outside the zip code, a couple houses down. Donny Joe has the opportunity at 120. Setting up for a Shanghai. Pulls to the left. That's very unfortunate there. Now at 104. Yeah, just not finding it there for Donny right now. It's also the way he's missing is very uncomfortable. He's pulling a lot of left and rights. If you're a dart player in Division 1 or especially in Premier, you know that if you're missing vertical, that means that you just got to get your timing dialed in. As Josh now grabs another leg on the board. Instead, when you're missing left and right, it could be so many different factors. It could be the way you're holding the dart. It could be the way you're following through. It could be a combination of release point. It could be the draft in the air. If you miss vertically, that just means you release the dart at the wrong time. Way easier to control that variable. And Donny Joe's a seasoned veteran, right? I mean, he's been around this game for a while. He's a great talent. I've had a lot of fun watching him and Joey Lee Harder in Houston play a couple times as well. And I know the talent level, and he knows his own ability. And right now, he's thinking, "Where the hell is that? Where did it go?" Josh, on the other hand, you see his misses. He's going low on these numbers, but it's an easier adjustment. It just means to throw a little bit harder or to release a little bit earlier, give it a little bit more float.
$42.
Last start deflects for Donny. The way that's positioned over the 20, was trying to find the right flight path. It was well thrown. I was about the right position. Just kisses off the flight just a bit. Which part do you disagree with, Porky? You just said, oh, there's our first 180 of the match from Josh. Big shot there. Definitely starting to find his stride. Which part, Porky? I say a lot of things. You're talking about the release point and missing horizontally, vertically? I'm not saying it's definitive. I'm just saying, like, as a general guide, it's easier to diagnose vertical versus horizontal. Horizontal is just a lot of other things. Oh, there was the second line. Will Stewart misses vertically for other reasons. Yeah, if you ever heard of the movie White Men Can't Jump, it was actually about Will Stewart. He has no vertical. 17 for tops to get a 4-leg difference in a match where it's been real scrappy, to say the least. The least.
Second dart.
Does get on the second.
Good job. Good job. Thank you.
2 legs away for Josh to get the win. Donny knows that right now, if right now he snapped into his normal game of the season and raised his average by 8 points, that he has every ability to get back into this match and win it. No matter what, though, it starts with breaking this throw. You cannot afford to lose this and then have to win 6 straight. If you break this throw and then defend, all of a sudden you're only at a 2-leg differential and you're back into that John Park Golden Rule. John Park Golden Rule being you want to be no more than as many legs away from your opponent as they are from the win or you are from the win, right? Right now, Josh only needs 2 legs to win, but he's 4 legs ahead of Donny. That's a big deficit. That's a lot of breaks. But it all starts with this one. It's now or never,
81.
Donnie Joe. And so far, finding one trouble a turn, Joshua is. What a time this would be.
100.
Solid 100 on the throw. Just keeps it chalk so far. Not in position to break, but you're looking for an opening right now. You're kind of fishing for one. 41 feels like a little bit of an opening. You got to stay true and find another one of those hundreds. It's going to be awkward. Yeah, it does move for the cover. I like that. I didn't like the position where those flights were and where he was still trying to get to. To save it and make it 80 points on the turn does give him a little bit of ground here and does leave him in a situation where 100 does leave a finish. Another important note there as well. 100 to leave 161. Give yourself 6 starts at the finish.
$85.
That last start, very unfortunate. Leaves the door open here for Josh. Will he take it? The door is still ajar.
85.
Last dart, hero. $116. 120 scored. 56 left. Single 16. Perfectly teed up by Donny Joe. 153 is now a must go. And it won't. Donny Joe needs to take this leg. This is the start of the comeback campaign, as again, he hasn't won a leg in quite some time. It all starts with 1. That's a better marker for him. Oh, overcorrection. 103. It's not a gimme, but it's not impossible. 84 was going triple 20 for double 12. Pulled it down and left. And you can see that laugh there, hear that laugh a little bit, a little frustration. Donnie gets a second chance. That was the gift. You got to open your present now, Donnie Joe, and does do so. So now that was step 1. You still got to hold your throw. You can't afford to lose a leg while against the darts or with your own darts right now. You win here, get it back to 2 legs between you, 2 legs from your Josh to get the win.
$100.
That's a solid rebuttal. A little bit of ground gain. You got to see these early stages of legs like this as a tug of war, right? They're going to pull back and forth on each other. They're going to press each other's buttons. Oh, and that's a 180 floor, not Scott Hanish style there, as that last star was deflected right off the first 2.
$42.
The pressure applied and transferred after Josh's 100. The 120 helps. And now Donnie's still gaining some ground with the darts. And he's consistently finding that first dart in or very near the 20 bed. This is the form he's been looking for the whole time. There's a 140.
140. $60.
Donnie should more likely have 6 with Josh sitting back at 299 unless he hits a big ton plus. But there, in a moment where it feels crucial to stay true, just having some errant darts.
Oh, come on, gosh. 140.
Johnny, my third favorite admin, Nolan, in the chat saying, "Hey, Nick. Hey, Johnny, how's it going?" I don't make the rules, Johnny. The dims the brakes. That's still good. That's a bronze medal. Bronze medals are pretty cool. People go to the Olympics for those. I can't tell. Is that a single 7 or trip 7? I think that's in the trip 7. If so, 21 scored, 43. There's the 3 for tops. Does recover well. Donny Joe gets 2 on the spin. And Johnny, it's not because you can't spell. It's because you can't access the PayPal account. If you could, then you know what? You're back to number 1. Anything to replace Scott Hanish. Again, another one of these moments, though, where this is important to get that break, right? You want to make this 9-9. That's what you're thinking, shit, Donny. Let me make this 9-9. Let me take this momentum and keep riding it. It's hard to ask for 3 on the spin, and especially with 2 of those 3 being breaks. But you approach each leg the same, and you just need to make sure you're staying competitive in this one. Because again, if you lose this, your opponent's sitting at 10, you have to still win 4 legs in a row while they're sitting at match point.
95.
Johnny says, I don't want that kind of responsibility. You know what? That's a very real answer. You're up to number 2. Sorry, Red.
100.
This is a good battle. Donnie's starting to slip a little bit behind on this break attempt, and then that 81 puts continual pressure to find a ton or more.
28.
Oh no. 24 is the door opener Donnie needed. He needed a little bit of help in this leg. Because again, you still really need this leg in your comeback attempt.
81.
No worries, Johnny. Good luck in your finals.
100.
116, a good leave. Donnie's going to have to try to settle for a 151. Not going to be able to leave anything now.
81.
81 leaves him just shy. So 116 gets an opportunity. Or excuse me, my math is a little bit off there. We'll get an opportunity. I like the 116 on the 20s way more than I like them on the 19s. I know 76 for 40, and he's been shooting double top consistently, but it's not my preferred route. That's mostly personal bias. Just low on that wire. Does connect on the second.
98.
It's a good pressure shot, but is it good enough? Double top needed for match point.
Third guard. Good shot. Thank you.
And a big find there for Josh as now he's sitting on match point. Jason saying bottom to top is a big adjustment. That's what I told my ex. Also very true though, right? I mean, don't be wrong, 76 for 40, especially the way Josh has been hitting the 20s and 10s, makes sense for his doubling route. But I'm just a big fan of if your finish requires you to use the 20s, the thing you've been scoring on the whole time, and in that case hitting 80 points for 36, I think that's way more preferable just for the consistency of where you're starting the shot. Not even the transition up to top, because if you're hitting a ton plus shot with last start double, you're either throwing full momentum or you're resetting and taking a breath on that last start. I personally take a reset breath. So, but yeah, I do agree. Top and bottom of the board transitions a little tricky sometimes.
40. 41.
Donny's still about 5 points below his average, about 7 points below for Josh in this current moment. We gotta look at some of these implications here of the group play for a second.
6.
If we're to look at this, right? Again, Josh here sitting right at number 2 in the group, with Donny sitting at 3. This one here puts him ahead of Greg Weston, who's currently tied with in the group. Donny here, if he takes this loss, puts him at 7-3. That gives an opportunity for John Steinhofer, C. Bailey, or even Still Bunch Jr. to be able to jump ahead from this position. And then further behind, Harry Carter, Brian Thomas, and Grant Evans, who are a little bit further from reach, but not entirely out of reach. Donny puts himself in a lot more vulnerable position in the group by this loss tonight. So it's important, because if he wins this and all of a sudden he'll have the same amount of match wins and probably cover the leg differential between him and Josh. So to actually put him ahead in the rankings, probably move him up to that third or even second spot. That's a big ask when you need 4 on the spin. Josh more than likely going to get it unless something crazy happens, and Donny really needs to find that momentum to make that crazy happen.
$57.
We've seen 2 attempts at the big fish. How about a little fish? Well high in the 20, but leaves the shot on. Not going to find it there.
40. Hold that.
167 doesn't have a chance either. Donny should get a dart. I think in this position, you really got to consider that 20s route for the bull. Even though it's still at a tough position for Josh, he's still within his range at match point. You got to play this a little bit safer. He decided to go bull first. I don't mind it, but now it's a lot trickier, and he won't get a dart or double. So if 1 out of 3 checks, it's going to feel like a punishment. Kristen, thanks for tuning in. Great to see you, and be seeing you soon in the Florida here. Another deep sigh from Josh.
46.
Does not get the setup he had in mind, leaving at, was that 57? 2 at double top for Donny Joe. Over to the 10. Oh, man. Well high again. Just a little bit of a shaky dart. Josh now for the match will get 2 darts at double top. To the 10. Doesn't happen.
37.
14. Is it friend or foe? We saw it be foe earlier. Does get it on that third dart. Sneaky. Now, if you're Josh, this is one of those moments where this is your chance, though. This is your throw, right? You win this, it's over. You got the advantage. If your throw gets broken, then Donny has the darts to make it a 10-10 tie. So Josh will still have an opportunity in that last leg decider to also have the throw. But you don't want to leave it. Last leg deciders are so nervy. So you got to get the win here if you're Josh. If not, you're going to start favoring Donny to complete the run back and leave it to a tied position where it's anybody's game.
42. $80. $47. 100. 100.
Good 100 following the 100. Oh, but Josh is really getting that momentum.
81.
Good scoring. Continues to put pressure on this. Donny would have needed a big shot there to be able to leave a finish.
42.
Josh, 9 times out of 10, maybe even 99 times out of 100, will leave a finish from this position. Well, big last start.
70.
Almost didn't. Almost made me look silly, Josh. How dare ya? Important to leave the big fish.
60.
No bait on the hook, and Josh to reel it in. 17 goes high. 89 is 57 to leave 32.
41.
Just 41. It's not a give me. It will more than likely mean he gets a dart at a double. But you can still get yourself into this. Single 19 switch on this last. Does switch and finds a little bit extra credit. Trip 10 double top. And okay, never mind. 54 for 16. It doesn't go. The only reason I'm so surprised there is just because of how well Josh has been hitting the 40 and 20 there. 132 starts on the bull. I think it's outside the 25 into the 8. Yeah, it is.
48.
That's 2 match starts survived. How many more can Donny Joe survive? It's up to Josh. Over to double 4. Can he work in?
12.
Doesn't get it. Was too far in. Double 12 for a break of throw. Donny Joe, this is a must hit dart. Does hit it. Gets the break of throw.
Great shot. Thank you.
Josh has 5 darts missed for the match now. And this is one of those things where that can weigh heavy on the mind of a dart player. No time to weigh heavy on it. Donny Joe has the darts, and he can make this a 10-10 tie.
79. 59. 140. 41.
Oh, this is all of a sudden a completely different script than what we've been reading the whole night. Donny Joe's absolutely dictating his own throw. Josh has slowed down quite significantly.
60.
It's a flash in the pan, but it might be just enough to spark the resistance Donny Joe needs.
96. 58.
58 to set up the finish there for Donny Joe. 164. Again, starting at the 20 there, I would have probably preferred an 18 start.
48.
6 starts for 164 means you don't have to take the bull. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try, which is why I switched to the 18s.
80.
84 left, and Josh now needs to leave a finish to pressure this 84. This is the worst case scenario for Josh from the advantage he had. And he was 2 legs from the win when Donny Joe was 4 legs behind him at 9-5. Now all of a sudden it's 10-9, might be 10-10, 64. You don't need to shoot the 14s, and that's why he avoided it.
44.
44 leaves double top. Josh needs to try to put a pressure shot just in case. This is the bull on the last. Not enough pressure applied. You have to think. Donny Joe, golden opportunity. The double 20's been hit or miss. He needs to hit. And that's a convincing hit at that. 10-10. Josh will have the darts in this last leg decider here. We talked about Donny's comeback campaign, what was needed. Well, he's listened to the game plan, it seems. And Joshua had 5 mismatched darts.
59.
Will he get another match dart as he did not get a match dart in that previous leg? It's been an absolute scrap fest. These averages are neck and neck. They're both below their season averages, and it's a lot of feast or famine between these players on how they're throwing right now. This is one of those situations where it's an absolute dogfight, and you're begging for your darts 21 to start listening to you. You're also begging for your opponent to keep giving you these chances, right? Oh, what a shot from Josh.
135.
Yeah, big 135. Thought that was, and it could have been even more if that last 5 didn't drift over. Getting control of his own throw again. Again, you're asking Donny, can he hit a ton? Can he stay in range? Or did Josh successfully win some ground? He definitely won some ground. Might switch. Yeah, he doesn't like those low darts you can see.
24.
But then again, it's one of those, he hits big shot, puts himself in position, gives opportunity right back.
$100.
And they're hitting the 100 now, makes it so the effort that Joshua just did gets reset. They're back to chalk. It's still advantage Josh.
81. $100.
There's 100. First look at a finish will be Donny Joe at 156. Oh no. How unfortunate is that? Was trying to leave 121 and then he knocks out his dart. Instead, it leaves 161. This is a nightmare scenario for Josh. That is so unfortunate in the timing. Because now the 156, even if it doesn't go, Donny Joe more likely will return. It could have been a lot uglier. That could have been a way bigger shot. Instead of sitting at 113, 161 doesn't, I mean, you still feel like it might have to go. It won't go.
97.
97 on the shot, 113. Donny Joe to do the comeback miracle. Opponent sitting on 64 after the dart gods literally took his own darts out of the board. 57 hit. He'll get a dart. Donny Joe doesn't take it out. Misses low on the 20. That's 1 mismatched dart now for Donny Joe. 5 missed darts from Josh 2 legs ago. 64. We'll only get 1 dart. It's at 32. Big pause. Big pressure. Does go for Josh.
Great
Wow.
shot. Great shot.
Oh, great.
Let's talk about this with the
Well done,
players real
Joshua.
quick.
Hey, you too, man. Oh, Jesus.
Well,
All the way
guys,
to the end, huh?
you know how to keep it interesting, gentlemen. That was quite the intense matchup. A few questions for you guys. Donny, I mean, you had the match there where at one point Josh was up 9-5. At what point did you start thinking to yourself, hey, I'm going to get back into this? Or what was your mentality at that point? Because you brought it all the way to the last leg decider despite the 4-leg difference.
Yeah, I was kind of mad at myself. And so it was really at that point, I didn't want it to get to 10. So it was at that point, I just said, I'm not dead yet. I just kept saying that. I don't know if you ever seen Monty Python. Bring out your dead. So I was kind of playing that scene in my head, kind of laughing, trying to giggle about it and just kind of stay loose. But yeah, I just tried to focus and stay calm because I was pretty erratic for most of the game. But at that point, I tried to, change things up a little bit, and it seemed to work. But I had a shot and missed. So, that's all I can ask for. Joshua did well to finish it there.
Yeah, that was one missed match dart on what would have been an amazing 10-plus checkout, the 113. Josh, you had 5 mismatched darts prior to this leg here where you took it out with your 6-match dart. What were you thinking that leg there, right? You had 5 mismatched darts, and then later on, you're trying to set up from 181, and you knock your own dart out to leave yourself at 161. I mean, were you thinking the dart gods had something against you at that point, or what was running through your head?
I don't know who paid those ones, but those ones were my best friend and worst enemy today. I could not tell you how frustrating that probably was, just watching them all fall out. I really haven't had that all season, so to kind of have it happen like that, yeah, you start questioning. But one thing I'm always told is you don't stop until the last dart's thrown. So you keep fighting, you keep grinding. When you get down to a out, if you get the opportunity, it's either you take it out or you don't.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were definitely in one of those trench warfare kind of matches. Both falling below your season averages, and it felt like you guys were both just having some frustrations. Josh, one of the unique things about Discord, right, is that we get to hear you guys as you play, and man, the amount of deep sighs you guys had was incredible. But I like the mentality that you both mentioned there about trying to stay positive until the last match start is thrown. Josh, with this win here, it helps hold that spot at number 2 in your group. You have pretty good aspirations of making the playoffs. Is that your goal this season? And if so, where are you trying to finish in that?
Definitely, it's going to be my goal just to get those playoffs. I mean, D1 is tough no matter where you play, who you play. I know Johnny's been around for years, and I've actually played him when I started coming up here at the Colorado Open. So I've admired Donny for a long time. Being able to play him is a pleasure, but I always know no matter what, like even though he's a veteran, man, he can still throw it. And of course, when I'm playing these playoffs, anybody can easily come up and wing you, even though they may be on an off day. So that's definitely my plan, and hopefully I can do well, carry this momentum to it.
And Donny, Josh touched on it there. I mean, you're a seasoned veteran of the game. I have your signed darts sitting on my dart shelf right behind me. With that being said, I mean, what you mentioned that you had to change your mentality there to try to get through the rest of the match and reset. I mean, what advice would you give to a player that's feeling the frustrations, especially in a long format match like this?
Well, I think that the never give up, and it's really all on you. So for me, you probably saw early on, I was having some really bad legs. I mean, we were both struggling, but you can't carry that to the next leg. So the things I was doing, I was just trying to let go when I was throwing poorly and just trying to stay positive in between. And, the positive overcame the poor throwing, and I was able to let those bad legs go. And I was trying not to get frustrated by that. And I think overall I did pretty good at that.
Yeah, no, it was a very entertaining match to watch, guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season develops for both of you. So I'm going to let you guys go here. And again, best of luck the rest of the season, and thanks for playing on the live stream.
All right. Thank you for hosting.
Happy to do it.
Well done, Josh.
You too, buddy.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that will conclude here for our coverage tonight for DPFL Darts Division 1 here. We're looking forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday. It will be Steve McDowell, I believe, joined by Will Stewart. Then we're going to take those 2 weeks off to get ready for that live event. So we'll be seeing you guys soon enough, and appreciate each and every one of you. So be good, stay safe, and we'll see you guys soon.